Hey, Statesman Nation, it's Courtney Jackson here with interim head coach for our women's lacrosse team, Coach Bell. Thanks for making it out here today. Going to get a little season preview in as your season kicks off on Friday, just this week. You guys got 2 more days. So first off, let's just look back at last season. You weren't here, but I'm sure you've taken a lot of time looking at what they did well, what they needed to work on. They went 6-9 regular season, 4-4 in conference play. Give me a little bit of your feedback and what you wanted to play off of it and work on.
Something I'm hoping we can do is start off strong. Obviously, you said they went 6-9. I'm hoping that we can have a better record this year. As always, being a coach, you're always looking for opportunities to improve and do better than last year, making that 1 or 2 or 3% better every single time you step on the field. Something that I'm looking forward to at the start of this season is coming out strong, coming out hot, and showing everyone that, through all of the struggles that we've had and all of these different changes that people have had to make, that we can come out and show that we're stronger than that. So.
Well, Coach, you have a lot of returning players, which is good. You have a few additional new faces on the roster this year. Fill us in on some of those girls that we haven't seen yet.
So the 2 new players we have are Katie Casey and Kiara Bax. Unfortunately, Kiara was injured in the off season, so we won't be expecting her for the first game. Hopefully, we'll see her in later on. But Katie is doing really well. We've been trying to put her in every single position that she can fit in, midfield, attacker, defense, and she's taking it with a big heart, and she's doing great in my opinion. So.
All right, well then let's look at kind of the rest of your roster. We can do a little run through the positions. You can tell us who's going to be filling in each spot. Start with the attackers. Who are we going to see up front?
We'll see on attack Mackenzie Peterson, Bailey Royal, Paola Cruz, who's also a multi-sport athlete, and then Emily Ferguson. We'll see those 4 out there. That's just a baller squad on offense. I think they're going to do great.
We have started off with a rocky start, kind of with Caitlin leaving, but with Josh kind of stepping in and our captains, it's not looking bad, especially too with everything that we've had to go through, all the adversity. So I think it'll be interesting to see on Friday how it all play out. A little bit, like I said, with Katie leaving, the captains had to step up, and kind of the upperclassmen, the people who have been here the longest, have tried to help kind of set the tone for this year and next year until there is a coach coming in. So kind of just helping out, talking a lot more to the younger girls and kind of discussing like what should be done, especially too with Josh not having played women's lacrosse before. The people who have played lacrosse for a long time kind of have to not really tell him what to do, but like kind of explain some things to him and describe things that maybe he wouldn't know. So Kinsey Peterson is one of the captains that has taken on a major role, and she has she meets with Josh every week and kind of helps him with our players, helps him with the recruits, helps him with a lot. Jenna Donlin and Ashlyn are the 2 other captains who also help out a lot. They kind of do whatever Kinsey might not be able to have time to do, or if there's like a new task for them to do, they meet with Josh, like I said, weekly. They kind of help him with the plays, help him with learning our strengths and weaknesses as a team, and help him with kind of learning more about women's lacrosse, like 8 meters or shooting space, kind of the fouls that we have that men don't. So kind of just helping him navigate through the difference between men and women's lacrosse. I am hoping to beat St. Ambrose this year. Last year we lost by, I believe, 3 points, and we lost, it was the second half that really got us. And so I'm hoping that maybe this year we can pull out a win against St. Ambrose and complete what we started last year.
And then in that midfield, who's going to be backing them up?
Midfield, we'll probably see Ashlyn Kensington. She goes by Chug. We'll see her out there. And then It depends. We'll kind of have like that flux third spot.
All right, then we'll go back to defense and goalie, who's going to be holding down the fort for you guys.
So our first game, unfortunately, Maddie won't be able to make it for the first half at least. Hoping she can make it for the second half. But filling in for goalie, we'll have Annie Gruber. She's been stepping up to the plate. She's been doing really, really well.
How's it been being starting goalie this year?
It's definitely interesting. I think it's more of a mental game and has to do with a lot of confidence because I feel like I am physically, making the saves, doing what I need to do, but I think in the end it's all going to be about, like, my mental game and just not getting in my head about things. I think we definitely had some bumps in the road. I think he's learning stuff just as we're learning stuff, and I think as the season goes on, I think he'll mature a lot more, and but so far I think he's doing the best that he can with what he has. Same with what Bailey said. I think if we can beat Ambrose, then we'll be second in conference, which I think will set us up really good for the tournament at the end of the year. So for our defense, we haven't lost anybody, so I think just building on what we did last year for this season is going to be really helpful, and I think we have all learned a lot. We've all improved a ton, so I think our defense this year is going to be really good.
And then on defense, we'll have Tori, Tara. We'll probably have Katie play defense. But I have no doubt that any of them can, flux between any of the positions.
But in the meantime, you've had the chance to work with these girls through the off season in the fall, into the winter, and now that it's time to go compete, what kind of progress have you seen so far in the team?
One thing we've been really trying to hammer on is, like I said in the other interview, just being dynamic, progressing in all areas of the field, offense, defense, midfield, like just, making sure that everybody can play every position as needed. I mean, it's a little bit of a shallow roster, and that's okay because everybody seems to just they're playing their part to the best of their abilities, and being able to add that extra component of taking on new roles whenever needed is prime for this team. So.
And how does it help having, it sounds like you have a lot of girls that are able to be very dynamic and play a lot of different roles on this team. How can you use that to your advantage?
Knock on wood, hopefully no injuries come, but in the event that one does, anyone can step into any position. I feel comfortable with that. And then outside of that, being able to adjust players as needed throughout the flow of the game. If there's an offensive heavy team, obviously we'll need to be defense heavy and then rotate back on offense or vice versa. And just being comfortable playing in all sorts of environments is, I think, will fill in great there.
And you yourself, a first time coaching here, fill me in a little bit on how that transition's gone for you and just how you're feeling going into your first game as a coach.
I thought it was going to be a lot of work, and there's been some work that's come with it so far, but overall I've nothing more than enjoyment for the experience. I've had a great time coaching these young ladies, and they've provided me with challenges to make me better, and I do the same back, and they grow every day, I grow every day, and just seeing the team come together as a whole between coaching and playing and going through all these challenges and making everything work is awesome.
And lastly, Coach, I know you said that your goal is to do better than they have in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But entering this season, aside from that, do you guys have any set goals that you guys want to reach? Any expectations throughout the season?
No, I don't think we have any set goals. It's nothing that we've really gone over yet. A set goal that I have for the season is that I'd like to come out strong, at least through our halfway point. I want to be going positive. I'm sure that's many coaches' goals, but I think it's achievable for us. I think we can go more W's than L's.
All right, Coach. Well, that's what we like to hear. As I said, women's lacrosse starts this Friday. Keep up with their scores and live updates, and keep an eye out for them throughout the season.